come up to the table? We'll have both the mentors and the students come up to the table, and then we'll take questions. Thank you very much, Meredith. That was wonderful. We're going to move now and change gears and hear about something right here in Madison for our pilot project number 3. And this is going to focus on Latino immigrants right here. Our presenter is Lynette Utah. Lynette is a professor in human development and family studies in the School of Human Ecology and has a national reputation for her outstanding engaged scholarship. She focuses on community education and research. She teaches a community-based research course called Immigrant Families and works primarily with Latino immigrants. Lynette works closely with her students in all aspects of her scholarship and will be sharing the outcomes of their collaborative work today. Lynette, thank you for being here.
I hope you'll let me speak for them, and I am actually focusing on emphasizing the students' participation in this project as opposed to the community partners and my own. I'm really pleased to be here to represent the idea that global is local too. As one student working on this project said, when one thinks of the snow, the Midwest, and UW-Madison, one doesn't really think Latino, but they are here. And there is a substantial Latino immigrant population in Madison. Driving around town, you'll see recently a rise in tiendas or markets and restaurants, that will give you a sense of their growing presence here. There are estimated to be over 40,000 Latinos in Madison, and according to the 2010 US Census, 6% of the population is Hispanic. Okay, and by the way, Hispanic is a census term, and those of us who work with the community use the term Latino instead. Okay, many of them are permanent residents. They're not migrant workers. They're working in restaurants, hotels, landscaping, construction, roofing, childcare, and a variety of other service jobs. They have kids. Last year, 17% of the students in the Madison Metropolitan School District were Latino. And most of them are either immigrants themselves or children of immigrants. Not only are immigrants here, but they're living transnational lives. After they resettled in the United States, they are not cut off from their home countries because of technological advances in communication and transportation. One way that they're keeping in touch is by sending money back home, or what we call remittances. They are also keeping in touch regularly by phone and computers. They keep in touch by talking about family gossip and what's happening with everyone back home. They're even getting their parenting advice from their families back home. They're more likely to ask someone in Mexico than in Madison about a parenting question. And when they can, they travel back and forth. Thus, they have a foot in both worlds, and these transnational connections continue. The globe is socially shrinking. I'd like to give you a little background on the project that the students worked on. The Formando Lazos Bicultural Child Rearing Project is both an outreach program and a research project that works with Latino immigrant families right here in Madison. It focuses on how immigrant parents feel about raising their children in the United States. And this is a major stress because while immigrants want their children to do well here in the United States, they want them to get good educations, they want them to get good jobs, they also bemoan the fact that their children are losing their ability to speak Spanish and to be connected with their cultural heritage. The project started in 2004, and over the years it has incorporated a lot of students, most of them who are also immigrants or children of immigrants, and it's incorporated students in lots of different ways. They've either been part of a core planning team and participated actively in the Pláticas. Some of them have participated doing their own research projects using the data from the project, and some of them have participated as volunteers for student groups that they belong to. So the planning team, the core team who I'm going to really speak for today, is a group of graduate students, community members, and myself, a professor, and we designed and delivered monthly pláticas, or workshops, in Spanish to talk about bicultural child rearing concerns. This project benefited immigrants by first reducing their isolation, reestablishing social networks for new immigrants, and also just simply creating a space for them to get together and speak in Spanish and talk about things that they were worried about. One of the benefits to students is that they could develop a global awareness right here in Madison. For example, Lydia Patton said, "Working with Formando Lazos made me realize that Latino immigrants really are part of the communities across the United States." Another graduate student, Bridget Mouchon, said, "Formando Lazos helped me to be able to gather thesis data, of course, but it has also moved me to understand on a deeper level the kinds of problems that are common to immigrant families." Coming to Madison can be a really alienating experience for both immigrants as well as students from the Southwest. For some students, the immigrant community in Madison is more familiar than going to school at UW. For example, Leticia Frausto said she struggled with feeling comfortable on campus. She would get asked if she was an exchange student, and she would say, "Yes, I'm from Arizona." This project provided her and numerous other students with a comfortable space to be in while they worked toward their degrees. On this project, they could be in a space where they spoke in Spanish, talked with people who had similar ideas to their own, see older and younger people, and feel at home. The Pláticas not only supported the community, but they also supported the Latino students who were new to Madison. Now, one thing I want to really emphasize, even though I'm talking about what the students brought, so the students representing the university, although all of them are really bridge people, but what I want to emphasize is that this is not a top-down program, but that we all served as a team who listened and learned from one another. For example, Lydia Patton, who was a graduate student in curriculum instruction, brought her teacher training skills and organized our child care arrangements into Club Cultural Jurencia. And another student, Liliana Saldana, who we like to tease a little bit because she was very academic. She came from a Chicana feminist epistemology. But she would bring her academic ideas that were actually first grounded in her identity as a Chicana and the daughter of immigrants. And we would weave together the grounded lived experiences that we heard from the community participants, the community partners, the students, with what we would call her school book learnings. Finally, the presence of UW undergraduate students was also very important because they represented the dreams of the immigrant parents. Immigrant parents would see the students who came from UW and worked on this project, and they would be able to think, if these students can make it, so can our children. So I hope you can see from this that this project, that Global is actually right here under our noses in Madison, and you don't have to buy a plane ticket to experience Global. Thank you very much for listening.
Do you want to stay up at the table?